Hey, what is going on, guys? Hex coming back in today to bring a video, and as always, down in the title below will be the topic we're talking about today. So, Kokkoku coming back with another, great episode. And right now, this world, this anime, whatever you want to call it, can really abuse its surroundings because this is something we don't get to see, every day. Stalled in time, and stalled in time brought up something this episode that I just want to hit really quick before I get into anything else because it's the most important thing, and it's the thing that I want to talk about and or get my point across about the most, and that is, they go into detail about, hey, if we go get this stone, our protagonist, and then we go back and get, your dad, Jury, and my son, and so on and so forth, we can jump out of this stasis into a new stasis, and each stasis is like a frame, in a timeline. It's like a timeline just with a giant frame. And there's a clip for each one, right? So this stasis right here is just a frame of itself. So if we jump out and go to a different one, then they won't know what frame we're in. And that right there presents to me possibly a huge problem with the show later, depending on how they, present it and describe it. So, well, they've already described it, but how they present it. So I have a question. So stasis is another world, right? And if you jump into another stasis, I guess that's just kind of like one of the sub worlds within stasis in itself. It's one of the secondary worlds per se. Now, stasis is bound by Earth. It's bound by what is around you. Like, things don't change. We see that because or else things would have changed, in this stasis. And we see these people riding their bikes stalled and all these kind of things. So my question is, if you jump out of stasis into a new frame within stasis, what happens to those people around you? Because they said these people can't get us if we jump into a new frame. They won't know what frame we're in. So that's something that's be really hard to explain. How can they not find you if you jump into a new stasis, but yet the people that are stalled are still, they're still there. Maybe there's something there. That's something that if they do, they need to describe that, because it's just kind of like, well, how come they're not with you anymore, but yet these people that are stalled are still right there? It's just like the people that are within stasis with you just disappeared, and that's something that's really confusing to me. I don't really know and understand that. I think that could be one of the small, kind of loophole things. I don't know. What do you guys think? I would love to know your guys' opinion on that. But we also do find out that the Herald, is what they call also a handler, excuse me. And they're actually ancestors apparently from the Yakawa family, and that's because they stayed in stasis too long, and the rumor has it that they transformed into that. They transformed into handlers and or heralds. So that's kind of scary, and the handler, appears, or the herald appears whenever rules are broken, and the old man says, I don't even know all the rules. I just know you can't mess with stalled people. So that's kind of scary, because you don't know the rules. And we also do find out that they have the Master Stone compared to just some other stone that the other people have that are coming after them. So that's something else we need, that we need to know. Is there other stones that do certain things within stasis? We know that, our protagonists have the Master Stone. What's so good about the Master Stone? What is this true power that they go on and talk about? But maybe that's, part of the transportation thing. The old man says, hey, you got to try to fly, and that's how you can teleport. And he's like, my dad couldn't even do it either. And his dad is the one that taught him all these things about stasis and, in and of itself. So Jury can't do it. We see that she was having a really hard time. And then, of course, we get to see the old man show her how it's done and then bust his ass on a slide, which is absolutely hilarious, of course. It's just like, oh, gosh. Oh, gosh. But more importantly, we got to introduce to a new character. I can't remember what her name was. She was in stasis as a little kid, and now she's finally back there. I would love to know more about her past. And can I say the ED is amazing, and the opening is just something that I feel as if I did not know what the show was now and not have seen, season 1, or excuse me, season 1, episode 1, I would think it's like an opening to a detective show. I'd love to know your thoughts on that if you guys are still, here watching the video. So we hop into towards the end of where we find out that they've been watching these people for like a week, a month, weeks and or months. because they even have a camera set up in their house, and they've just been waiting for them to jump into stasis. And as soon as they jump into stasis, that's when, you know, the other people jumped into stasis. So that was something that's kind of like creepy. It's kind of, whoa, how do they know all this kind of stuff? And apparently that girl seemed to be the one to tell them who has the Master Stone. How does she know that? She seems as if she's someone who comes from the outside and then came in. Like, she did not understand stasis and these two separate people. You know, our protagonist and our antagonist. She's someone just was kind of like in the middle of the crossroad and said, hey, I've been to that middle ground, that stasis in between all you guys, but I know you guys can help me out, so I'll just go to you. And that was something, you know, it seems as if she knows she's manipulating, because she knows, of course, the protagonist would not let her do that, but she knows the antagonist would. And maybe that's because she's been watching them. I don't know. That's something I don't know. Next episode looks like it's going to be really good. I'm really excited to see what's going to happen here. We see that, you know, Jury been captured. That one dude is sick. He wanted to take advantage of her as she was being pinned down, and I knew it was going to be one of those bastards that did that. But Jesus. But other than that, guys, Kokkoku, another great episode, I think, personally. I'm wondering where the show's going. I see it on Mal. Source material is like a 7.5 or so. And yeah. So other than that, guys, be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Excellent5. See you guys next time. Peace. Thanks for watching, guys.